Hey, it's Hallelujah 963, Brother Rod Gardner Jr., Cali Code. I'm running double time right now. But yeah, I'm excited because it's time for my Sunday conversation. And I got my sister, my friend, really pretty much family, Coach TAS J. How you doing?
I'm amazing. How are you? How are you this morning?
I'm really, really excited. Anytime I get to work with people I already know and help them get the word out, it's not, I don't take it lightly. I enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to what you're
Yeah.
bringing. A big event coming up, a
Yeah.
second annual Girl Self-Confidence Workshop. What started you to thinking about girls and wanting to empower young women?
So honestly, I was a whole mess myself. I didn't know my identity. I didn't know who I was. I had no confidence, didn't love myself. And the only reason I can say that and really speak on it is because of some of the things that I went through, some of the decisions that I made, which pretty much I've learned that, if you don't love yourself, if you don't have confidence in yourself, you're not going to care about the decisions that you make. And so because I went through that at early age, I decided that, what, I need to pour back into these girls. These girls are out here. It is critical that we put something in place so that they can learn who they are. They can learn to have self-confidence, and they don't have to go through some of the things that I've gone through or the people around them have gone through.
Very true, very true. Now I know you're from Camden County, so tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about the experience you growing up in Southeast Georgia and how you feel as a black woman and how
Mhm.
you felt as a black young lady.
Okay. So honestly, I was always pretty on the plus size, growing up. And so back then, now plus size is in, we're doing our thing now. But it's like back then, I didn't get the love back then. I didn't have that confidence because, I didn't appreciate who I was or how God made me per se, how just all of me, period. And so growing up here, you didn't really, and I can only speak on me personally though, I didn't really get the boys talking to me or being able to feel like I was loved by other people. Even growing up with like some of my relatives and stuff, it almost felt like I was a black sheep. Black sheep didn't really get that love.
Right, right.
And so I know because I've experienced it at my size and being dark skinned and things like that. And that is a part of our experience too. We're going to talk about colorism. So because I've gone through that, and I had to deal with being rejected and being just not having my worth valued, or people just appreciate me for exactly who I was.
Right.
And it wasn't until I put a value on myself, regardless to what I grew up, the way that I grew up, and people not really appreciating that. I had to know who I was. I had to do some self-work and discovery and development of myself and decide, what, who are you?
Right.
Because the thing is, people can only handle you at the level you allow them to handle you at. I was young. I didn't understand that. I didn't know what having confidence meant. Yeah, my mother told me I was beautiful, but at the same time, you have to believe it for yourself.
Right.
And because I hear it a whole lot
Mm-hmm.
growing up, then I didn't know. I didn't understand that there was deep down inside of that little black plus size girl, there really was a beautiful woman that would flourish.
And you know what? Just even you saying that, I just it's kind of like my experience in a way too. Growing up, my whole family from Camden County, they from Brunswick, they from Glenn County, they from McIntosh, and I got family from Birmingham. But growing up, I grew up in California. I grew up in San Diego, California. I grew up around a vast culture, a different mixture of people, and more like lighter tone people, smaller facial feature people. So I also had those things about myself growing up, is to where my mom reinforced things. She told me who I was. My dad told me who I was. I loved it. But the outside world kind of treated me different. I remember it came time.
Insecurities.
Right. And I remember it came time, it would be a situation where if something got stolen or something happened at school, it would be my fault. Or if there was a fight going on and I was standing there and I was around, it didn't matter if I knew the dudes or not or whatever. They blamed some of the part on me. And I got that from being, a dark-skinned individual in society. So I definitely understand that and where you're coming from, because a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't get that. They think, oh, you're just complaining or you don't see the difference. But you do see the difference. And most importantly, you feel the difference, And so in feeling that difference, I'm glad that you're awoken and you want to spread encouragement and actually give people the tools on overcoming these things. So how old were you when you started to overcome certain things in certain ways that society was, or certain ways society was treating you?
An adult.
Right.
I would just say once I started modeling, I got into modeling about 3-4 years ago. And it has actually caused me to develop a higher sense of my confidence. Just by simply, I use photography, photo shoots, things like that, personally to help in building my confidence. And that is some of the techniques that I use also with these girls. Is at the end of our workshop, we do a confidence photo shoot. I believe that the way that you feel on the inside is what's going to reflect on the outside. So if you feel like you're defeated, that's what your photo is going to look like. Right. If you are beautiful on the inside, you got that confidence, because I'm going to be standing there with them, like cheering them on, like, girl, you got this. Come on, girl, you so pretty. Like, I'm going to be cheering them on. And so with me doing that, and me doing it for myself also, that is what has worked for me. Just telling myself, affirming, speaking to who I am, even though I couldn't see it at that time. I started speaking to myself and just simply saying, girl, you're beautiful, you are amazing, you're smart. Affirmations.
Right.
That is what has helped me. So between the modeling, learning more about affirmations, I joined a modeling group, Mish Dollhouse, and she has been amazing in helping me with cultivating my gifts, helping me cultivate this confidence down on the inside. You could have never told me that I would be speaking right now. I used to be so passive because of it. I had no voice because of the lack of confidence. And so I'm going to say, probably about 3-4 years ago, just tapping into, and I'm sure you remember, like, this girl never really talked, like,
Right.
It's just so amazing. And God, I have to say, and God, because if God had not allowed me to bump into these different people, I don't believe that any of it was by chance or whatever. Like, just simply bumping into the modeling group and tapping into modeling more, and just simply just using those tools that were given to me to pour back into other people has really my confidence. Because if I can see that what I'm doing to pour back into this woman, this young girl, it makes me even more confident to see them when they glow. When they glow up, I glow up.
Right. Right. It's like you got the energy, you got the fire, and you passing it along. And that's what it takes. It takes people like you in your position to say, hey, you could do this too. You could be on the other side. Take people like me saying, hey, you could do this too. You could be on the other side, in spite of things that you see and how society's treating you or people are treating you. So let me ask you this, because I don't want you to give away everything y'all gonna be doing. But what are some tools that young women could use as far as building self-confidence?
Some of the tools, number one, you have to know who you are. You have to tap into who you are. You have to know what your purpose is. And those are some of the things that we'll be diving through, figuring out who you are, knowing what your purpose is. Sometimes we have things that we used to do that were a passion for us, and then we stopped it because somebody else said or something happened. Or whatever. And so my job is to help you tap back into that, so you can reignite your passion and you can walk into your true purpose. And if you're walking in your true purpose, you're going to gain that confidence because you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing in the earth.
Right.
Okay. So that's pretty much what we'll be doing. Again, I'm big on affirmations, speaking to that place. I believe that if you can say it until you see it, until you believe it. And then guess what's going to happen? You're going to become exactly what you've been saying all along.
Right. Yeah, that's
Period.
true. That's true. That's true. And I see the fire. That's why I'm looking at you. I'm listening to you, Coach Todd, because I'm like, I see the fire and you're ready. And I know you've been ignited. Let me ask you this question. What do you think what fuels the responses or people acting like they have a distaste for bigger women or dark-skinned women? Like, what do you think of some of that stuff that fuels that? To where you would treat somebody like they're more beautiful because they look like this, or they're less beautiful because they look like where does that come from? Because I don't necessarily understand it, because it's not just people who don't look like us who do it. It's people who look like us who do it. And even as far as when you talk about being a woman, even men do it to women and women do it to men. You know, and I've always been one of those people who I love my people. You know what I'm saying? I love my people. I love me. I love my mom. I love my grandma. I love my aunties. You know, my thing is, I want that energy around. That's the most beautiful thing. But how has it gotten to this point as to where we're kind of looking outside ourselves for beauty? That's just weird. Where does that come from to you?
I feel like it is individuals who, number one, they don't know who they are. They're not confident. And because you're not confident in yourself, then you don't. You put that on other people. You know what I mean? Because you're not confident, because you lack self-esteem, then you have to push that off on somebody else and make them feel bad about who they are. Right.
That's true.
I'm gonna say this. I don't know.
Go ahead and say it.
I found it to be true in most people that I asked. I found that whatever your mother or your father was like, or how they looked, typically that's what you look for in that mate of yours. When it comes to dating and things like that. So that's what I found. My father was dark skinned, kind of heavy set. That's what I go for, you know?
Right. Hey, but see, that's how I think, though. That's how I think. That's how I think. I don't think outside of something that I haven't seen. I'm not the person that says, oh man, this person, they're from half across the world and their hair look like this and I want that. I'm not that type of person. It's like, that ain't familiar. I know what a joker who look like my mama, my daddy, I know what I'm gonna get out of them, you know?
You know what to carry you.
Right. Definitely.
I do feel like a lot of it honestly is just the lack of confidence in self and knowing who you are. You don't know, they don't know who they want, what they want, you know. And so it just causes you to be mean and angry to other people. I'm gonna tell you, yesterday I received a comment on a picture that I posted. And to me, that picture was me fighting out of a place I was in for like about a month now. Okay. Outside of that place that I was in, expressed overcoming. It expressed my natural beauty, right? I received a comment on there and it said, "You look like Eeyore." Right? A stranger. I have about 4 people on my Instagram. And out of all the comments that I received, is that one person that put, "You look like Eeyore." And of course, it was supposed to make me upset. It was supposed to mess with my confidence. It was supposed to, just get me upset. Right. And instead, I left the comment there. I left the comment there for a while because I wanted the other people to see it. Because I know who I am. I know who I'm confidently, who I've confidently become. Right? I'm not worried about the naysayers. And that's what you have to do. You have to be so confident that no matter what anybody else says, it doesn't shift you. It doesn't move you. It doesn't make you feel anything less than you know you already are. Because guess what? You decide what your value is. Right. People can handle you at your value. So because I wasn't shaken, because I wasn't moved, it didn't even matter. Right. That just lets me know I must be doing something right. If a stranger that I don't even know can comment on my picture and say, "You look like Eeyore," like, I ain't even moved because I know who I am.
Right. And you know what? That's so important. Like, especially with you talking, you having the confidence workshop for the girls. It's so important. My daughter's 10 years old. she's not on social media yet.
Okay.
She wants to. She got family members and different people. Oh, they on TikTok, this and that. But I'm not ready for her to be in that space because of things like that. So, right. And that's very, very important, you know, for you to say, I seen it, I seen the comment, and I left it. And I let it you just taught something different. You know, a lot of times we have the mainstream media, they kind of teach you to absorb everything. If anybody says something about you, you got to absorb it, and you got to be mad about it, and you got to totally get it, you know, out the way. But I will say this: you're from right. But I will say this: you're from Camden County. You're from Southeast Georgia. We have a different experience as Black people down here, to where we have had to ignore things and not absorb things.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what that's what makes me. That's what it goes back into my mind. That's something that our grandfathers would do. That's something that our grandmothers would do. A racist comment, a nasty comment, a comment about hair, a comment about color. They absorbed it and kept going. They kept going to work. They kept pushing on. So that right there is very, very positive to be teaching. Now I know your self-confidence workshop age group, is it 4 to 12, 4 to 16, or what's the age group?
So it's 6 to 16. However, I've taken on like 2 4-year-olds because they're a little mature. So I'm willing to work around, you know, the age ranges. If they are coachable, if they can understand the information that's being given, bring them, you know. Right. We have closed off, and somehow I've somebody done trickled in, so I got 16 instead of 15 now. But I'm excited for the overflow, you know.
Expanded.
I put a number out there. I'm like, okay, God, I need at least 15 people. Last year we did 10. So I said, okay, God, I want at least 15 people. He's in the overflow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that lets you know that it's such a need. You know what I'm saying? When you see that, when you see, okay, man, this is more than I expected, or this is I didn't think I'd already be at 15 plus, you know, and we haven't got up to the event yet. But that right there lets you know, okay, you're meeting the needs, so you're where you're supposed to be, you know?
And one thing I want to add to that, and I'm going to say this directly straight to the screen, to the audience, the viewers, the listeners. I really need the support of the community. Bring your girls. There are too many girls out here hurting. There are too many girls out here that I'm hearing parents say that they're having problems with, but they won't bring them. They won't bring them. This room should be, my goal is 10, 15, but I should be seeing this number tripled, doubled. Right. You know what I mean? Like, should be beating down the door to get this help that is available. Because if a young girl understands who she is, if she understands what her worth is, and she begins to value herself, I really do believe that once they gain that confidence in themselves, some of these issues that they're experiencing, they will not experience, because they're going to make better decisions.
Right.
And so in order for them to get in that place, the parents have to step up. They have to step up and make this decision and say, you know what? I need to put my child in this. Let's help out.
Yeah.
You know, but it takes a whole village. It takes these parents, you know, bringing them.
Now let me ask you this, because there's so many things thrown at kids today. Like, it's not like when we were young. Remember when we was young, either you could see it on TV, you had to go grab your phone, you had to remember your numbers and call whoever. If you didn't go outside or go down the street and play with your friends or whatever, you wasn't involved. Now you could just open up your phone and everybody's in your house, everybody's in your room, everybody's in your space. There's a lot more with parents to fight with. How important is it for parents to enter good influences into their child's lives, because they're getting influenced by other things outside? Like, how is it important to have positive role models and positive influence reinforced in children's lives, and especially young girls, because everything's after young girls?
Yes, absolutely. It is a dire need. It is critical with this. with this era, this generation, it is extremely important. Because like you said, the TV, the internet, especially TikTok,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
influencing these children. They need positivity in their lives. And especially because you have parents that, especially like the one parent homes and stuff like that, they're working a lot. They're not around. These kids are almost about raising themselves. And so because you're not there all the time, these other influences are there. They need positivity. They need somebody to tell them and encourage them, hey, look, you are an amazing person. You are smart. You are going to get your education. You are beautiful. Like, they need the positivity. So why not bring them in this space?
Right, right.
Why not have them join in? This is once a year. This can only be a chip off of the iceberg.
Right.
You know? But why not put them in this environment? Plant that seed. Water it.
Yeah.
So it can grow.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's important. Because I don't know what's next. We don't know what's next.
It's so much out here. It's so much out here. And technology is moving faster. And they have to have access to it. It's like if you don't have your child on the internet, in a lot of cases they can't do their schoolwork.
Yes. Yes.
So they have to have access to all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very, very important. I do want to ask you this too, because I could talk to you all day. I could talk to you all day. Yeah, I could talk to you all day. I gotta have you come back on the show for sure. But as far as them getting ready for the workshop and preparing the girls and for them to come, what are some things that you want the girls to leave with coming through the self-confidence workshop?
I want them to leave knowing who they are. I want them to know our theme for the year is I am pretty dope. And so that's what I want them to leave knowing and understanding. Like when they go to school, like being dope in everything that they do, being positive, being motivated, being confident in whether that's in their sports that they're doing, whether that's in their schoolwork, just knowing that everything I put my foot forward to do, I'm dope. I'm the GOAT. Just being confident, not just in how they look, but confident in the things that they do. Confident in that home when mom is saying, hey, you need to do your schoolwork, you need to clean up your room, do these chores. I can do it with excellence still. I might not want to do it, but because I know, I need to listen to mom or I need to make sure I'm being obedient or whatever, I'm still a GOAT,
Listen, you might have just tripled your event when you said get them to listen to mama and clean up their room and do their homework. I'm like, hold up, I'll sign up a few jokers. I got some people to sign up. Yeah, because
my motto for myself is that I'm the dopest in every room my feet touch down. And it's not to be cocky, but it is simply saying that I'm at my best. Any room I step in, no matter what the environment is like, when I walk in the room, they're going to think I'm VIP. I'm sorry. Definitely. I'm the dopest when I walk in. And that's what I want them to leave with, knowing you're the dopest.
That's what's up. Coach TAS, let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you this before we go. What you said God is a part of your confidence. He's a part of what you're doing. And this is a ministry. Pouring into the kids, the ministry. I think this is something different because when you're moving forward, different times call for different things. I like this workshop, more than just children's church. Like how you have children's church and you go in and you put the kids in another room and they do the Bible story. This seems like an extension or something bigger because I know it's God-based because you're involved. Tell me how much God has inspired you and how much of a part of this second annual Girls Self-Confidence Workshop he is.
Woo!
It
was in my yes. It was in my yes a year ago that God had really pushed me and said, you know what, it's time to do it. There's a work to be done out here. And it was in the yes that God has been opening doors for this event. I've gotten more sponsors this year than I had last year. not just people that I know, but businesses this time. I put a number on it. I said, okay, God, I want to have this many girls. I want to have sponsorship this year. I don't know where none of this money is coming from, God, but I'm solely depending on you. I'm solely activating my faith in this. And ever since I did that, I just told my niece that yesterday. I said, I didn't really know, how this was going to work. I was able, last year we did it at the library because it was free. This year we're able to actually pay for a venue. All God, you know what I mean? All for the sake of the sponsors that have been able to donate. And I do. I make sure that everything I do, that God is a part of it. He has to be, because I'm nothing without him. And so because God is involved, I already know this is going to be an amazing event next Saturday. It's going to be amazing because he's first. If we keep him first in everything that we do, it has no choice but to be amazing. It has no choice but to bless the lives of his people. And so that's just what it is. I'm nothing without him. He's first.
That's real. That's real. Coach Tajay, I appreciate the energy, the love, and you're ready to pour into. You see, like, when you go and you have somebody teaching, or you have somebody trying to execute something, you want to feel like you're going in with somebody full. I'm going to tell you right now, just from talking to you, I want the listeners to know you sound full. You have something to pour into these girls, for sure, for sure. So the second annual Girls Self-Confidence Workshop is coming up September 10th. Let the people know how they can get in touch with you and be a part.
Absolutely. So basically, we have reached our limit on the girls. Right now, the biggest part that we need is sponsors to help us make this possible. I can be reached on Facebook. I'm under Latasha, Latosha, Coach Taj, TASJ, Hubbard, HUBBARD, or you can email us at thefablabcoaching@gmail.com. I also have a website, which is thefablabcoaching.com.
Definitely, and we make sure we're gonna make sure we get everybody that information too. Yes,
thank you. I would like to thank my sponsors, if that's okay with you. We have time.
You good?
All right, awesome. So I want to thank I Am Ambitious Mentorship, Sister Talk, Stacy Thomas, A Fearless Journey, Coaching and Beyond, Curve to Curve, Kevin Chappelle Designs, I Choose Me, JMJ Inspires, Written Vision Solutions, Aloha LLC, God, I thank you, Chick-fil-A, Dr. Barbara Christmas Golden, The Lunchbox, Ruby Tuesdays, Diligent Companions, and K&J Fields Logistics. Thank you all so much. And I definitely want to thank you for having me on here, Callie Cold.
Hey, and anytime, sis, you already know. You working, you're doing the work. It's just my job to make sure the people know who doing the work and who really getting out here. So make sure, hey, everybody, make sure y'all get ready. Second annual Girls Self-Confidence Workshop coming up. Coach Ty. Yeah, I'm excited. Definitely. Hey, it's Brother Rod Gardner Jr., Callie Cole, and that was my conversation with Coach Tajay. Y'all be blessed.